God is moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
Welcome back to Young People Nation. And we're in session 4 with Vince Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vince Brown.
Hey,
Jr.
come on now.
Mr. Patrick Page.
All right.
Thank you all so much. When I tell you all, these guys have given their all. Please go back and listen to the other 3 sessions. And mothers, fathers, listen to what these young men have been saying, because it's a lot where we are as the older ones.
Yep. Worthy the word of crown.
Yeah. And so, listen. Okay, and if you have not listened to the first 3 sessions, I want to introduce these young men. This is just a brief of what they do in the community. Mr. Vince Brown Jr., he is a man of God, number 1. He's a business coach and strategy integrator. He is the creative partner of New Level Network and Operation Timothy. And he is huge about transforming men's lives. And what's that age group y'all work with?
18 to 33.
Okay. Mothers, y'all hear that? Fathers. Okay, I have Patrick Page. He is a man of God. And again, what? Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. He is a business and life purpose coach, integrator. You get stuff done and helping guide, direct people on their purpose, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, he is also a creative partner of New Level Network and Operation Timothy, and he's out here in the community helping to transform young men's lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you. And we're grateful to our sponsors and supporters. It takes money to do this.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
And so when people say, hey, I feel led to give this, touchdown. Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Okay, because if it's his will, it's his bill.
That's it.
He'll take care of it.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
So he owns everything anyway. So
Yep.
So-
and he don't use a credit card either.
you sure know. Cash.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to talk about, we're going to end our 4 sessions on your journey and the assignments to help build others. And again, you guys have been extremely transparent with your truth. And thank you all so much. Because what we do here for Young People Nation, God has many ways of helping us.
Oh, yeah.
We just have to be open to the way he guide and direct you. And you guys have been very transparent about how you got your healing and deliverance, how you got your healing and deliverance. Well, that's the way God does it. So, again, we talked about several dynamics in our previous sessions and your journeys and how it is helping others. Just give a brief synopsis on that, how your process has helped others.
Absolutely. So right now, the process is using what we've both been through in our lives, what we've seen our family go through, what we've witnessed friends go through as we're growing. We are sharing those experiences because what we realized was our testimony can be a gift to others. So we're using where we are and where we've been to be able to minister to these men and be able to show them that they are equipped with stories. They are equipped with so much inside of them. We always say there's more in store for you because there's more stored inside of you.
Yes.
So we are showing men how to communicate their value in this world, how to find your value, how to find your identity. A lot of that is rooted in showing them that professional development, that personal development, that spiritual development, and doing that in community, right? And we have a saying that we always say that we move in community, right? And we move in unity to provide more opportunities, right?
I want to say something real quick because you all are such strong men in this room, and I would like to just say, listen, A wife doesn't have a problem following a man with a vision from God.
Ooh, say that again.
She does not. I am a witness to this. And I just want to say, you all keep that same strength, because when you decide to choose whoever you want to do life with, she ain't gonna have no problem following what God is telling you for the family.
Wow.
Because when this guy gets to talking,
Wow.
I'll be like, okay, baby, let's get it, you know?
Wow.
But he's proven also now, we've been 40 years in June.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But he,
I ain't getting no mule neither.
chapter, I want to say, Nina was an infant when the Lord spoke to you and told us not to go back to that church.
Yes.
Yeah, we was getting ready for church. And he said, he said, we're not supposed to go back. I was like, what? But long story short, you know, he was hearing from God. Because it wasn't for us to be there. It was maybe some others, but still he was hearing from God for our family. So you all keep that same strength, because a woman don't have no problem following you like that. She doesn't. So that's just a .com. But go ahead, Vince. I'm sorry.
Well, honestly, Pat covered it. Pat covered it in this thoroughness, just using our stories and what we've been through to help other men identify with other men and other people to say that this is my story, this is what I've been through. So I'm going to show you how I got through what I went through, so I can help you get through what you're either going through or what you're going to go through.
Yes.
That's it.
Wow.
Now, you all made mention about your... Oh, baby, was you going to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm listening to you.
Okay.
I was captivated by your voice so much. I forgot I was here. All right.
You guys made mention of your pastor and your group sessions. How has that been helpful?
So I would say that at Lighthouse, and this is a shameless plug, but over at Lighthouse Christian Fellowship is Dr. Larry G. Glover.
Okay.
But just by being there for like we mentioned, last year was one of the most difficult times in our lives collectively, and honestly, by being able to be at Lighthouse, that's what was able to pull us through.
Okay, being connected to the right source.
Right.
And it's different because there it's not so much about. I know it's a big conspiracy in church about, you know, the come as you are and all of these things, but it's not so much about like who you are when you're entered, but it's about who are the people that's there, how is God blessing that and what they're doing out in the community, and how you can now be a part of that by just listening to what God is telling you and by being involved, having the conversations with, you know, between we'll just say leadership, because there's not just one person.
Yes.
The church is comprised of leaders that are all able and willing to authentically share their journeys and their stories. And it's one of those places where I've been in church all my life. My dad's a pastor, but I've never been in a place that felt like this. And not just because of what it feels like and what they can do, but who they are behind, like when nobody else is looking, when nobody else is hearing these conversations, who they are, how they're checking in. Like I got evicted last year out of my apartment. Nobody else was there to hear those phone calls that I had with specific people and specific men that's at the church, and what was able to be done as a result of that. Like, you know, but just being a part of a community that is comprised of strong, not only men, but also women, and that real true deep down family feel that is there because of the connection and because of how God is using each individual person to operate in their ministry. And the church, the building of Lighthouse is just a place where we all come to be able to celebrate together.
Right.
Yes, we can identify, because when we was trying to figure out, we was in Hawaii trying to figure out where to live, and then the Holy Spirit spoke to him and said it was Faith Outreach Christian Life Center. Then he was like, okay, well, we know we're going to Georgia, you know, and Pastor Richard Peoples and Dr. Janice Peoples, they are amazing people. Just had dinner with them the other night, and they're just ordinary people, and you feel that connection. Like our mentor who come from the same house, Dr. Rosetta Parker Austin. See, you just, like you said, it's not one person.
That's it.
But it's several you know, that has connected with us to help us and our children.
Come on.
Yes.
And he picked up the bill. He paid for everybody. So.
Yeah, Pastor.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes, he is a very giving man.
Yes.
Love it.
Very giving man.
Love it.
So your commitment to accountability and growth, what do that look like for your generation? Accountability.
I love that you talked about accountability, because I'm gonna be honest with you, that is what is needed.
Yes.
And what we decided to do was, not only are we gonna create accountability systems, but we're gonna create accountability ecosystems.
Okay.
Right. So we're gonna allow that to be something that is the core of what we do.
Okay.
Right. So when we talk about discipleship, we also talk about how can we keep each other accountable. So if you notice, it's to the point now when you see Vince, you see me.
I'm telling y'all,
Right.
I was like,
But there's something special in that.
Okay.
And that's where we are connected, because we understand that we're modeling how men should also be connected to the right men. That's the word says iron sharpens iron.
Right.
Yes.
So accountability is showing men by doing and being.
Yes.
Right. They need to see that. We can't say, hey, you want to make sure that you're around somebody that's gonna hold you accountable of your mission and your calling and your
Yes.
ministry. In order to do that, we gotta show you, and you gotta be a part of this.
Yes.
So what we realized was accountability is things that men are looking for. They want it. They want
Yes.
affirmation. They want somebody that's going to say, you know what? Here's how you can grow in this area of your life. They need that life-on-life mentorship and discipleship. And what we do is the life-on-life, that's the secret. Because sometimes we think we can reach our generation
Yes.
by just talking to them.
Yep.
Right? You got to go into their world to lead them out.
that's
Right.
right.
And accountability starts with relatability.
Yep.
We got to be
Good.
relatable.
Yes.
We got to show them that we understand you.
Yes.
Right? We feel for you.
Yes.
But let's continue to grow through this. Right? So the growing pains, where we're there with them, we always say, like, look, our phone lines, they're open because we understand that we have to be open for them to be able to speak to us in a way that sometimes it might be 1 o'clock in the morning, right? But we have certain things in place so that accountability ecosystem can serve them where they are.
Yes.
So it starts with servantship.
Okay,
It starts
yes,
with that servantship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say who you are assigned to and who's assigned to you, because you're not assigned to everybody.
You're not assigned to
That's
And
right.
it's just like when you guys do decide to get married, you're going to have to create them boundaries. 'Cause you know,
Absolutely.
like-
Absolutely.
And I love that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing now is we're realizing that where we started with the ministry, we have men stepping up now. And we have men
Awesome.
saying, you know what?
Hand the baton.
We're handing that baton over. Now they're leading these sessions.
Right.
That's
Now
good.
they're having these conversations. Now people aren't calling us, they're calling them.
See that?
Because we're able to say, you know what? You're capable, you're willing, you're able.
Yes.
And we're showing them that they can do the same things that we've been doing.
Amazing.
You know, you using that strategy that Jesus did. You building up the 12.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But I just love that wisdom that flows out of him. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask you all have been through some hardships in your life financially. So the financial, mental, physical wholeness. Financial, mental, and physical wholeness. Let's talk about that and what that looks like for you all right now.
Wow. So that's a phenomenal question. First off, I would say for me, last year. So when I talked about before my journey of leaving my most recent job, which was at Regions Bank, I was a banker. And so I devised this plan. I was praying to God, but I devised this plan that I'm going to quit. So because I'm so financially savvy, I saved up. You know, everybody says save up 6 months worth of expenses, so I did that.
Yeah.
And then I found out I had more than 6 months worth of expenses saved up, so I quit. Right. And what happens is I quit with all of that money that I had. I left and then I put it all into one account. And so the following month after I quit, so this was in April. Because I quit in March. The next month, I went to get gas, swiped my card, it declined. First time that my card declined in forever. And so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Grabbed the credit card, swiped it, paid. Left, got home, I looked at my bank app, and all my money was gone, and I was negative $3,000. And this was, I went from like 14, 15,000 down to negative 3,000.
Wow.
In like the same day. And so that, for time's sake, it crushed me beyond what I can even explain just here. because that was all my income, and I had just quit my 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
And so what happened was I went through this period of brokenness financially, though. But what I started to understand was that because back when I was in real estate, being a real estate investor, both of us, I reached financial freedom completely, but I was a horrible steward over the finances.
Yeah,
When I say horrible, I'm talking about horrible.
Okay.
And so what I started to realize after months and months and crying and tears and another depression stage was that I'm only going through this because I needed to learn how to be a great steward over the finance portion that I was going to be given. And so what happened was, in order for me to be whole mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, I had to learn how to be healed in all of those areas without having any finances. So as I'm struggling and trying to figure out literally how I'm going to buy food, buy gas to be able to get anywhere, that's the time in which I had to be broken so bad to the point where now I was healed without having any money at all, still being negative. But one thing about it is God kept providing just a little bit. It's like the story of the lady with the oil.
Yes.
It's like, just a little bit. I never ran out. I never went without, but I also never had a lot.
Yes.
And so once I was able to be healed completely as far as what I felt like, or healed to the point where now I was healthy enough to now be able to be a steward over just a little bit of finances. Then they came, and then so on and so forth. And then that leads us now to just being able to we're not rich or nothing. And we're not rich, and we're not just like perfect people. We're not perfect at all. But
Nobody.
Exactly. But we're at a place right now of being whole in every area, including financially, but it's all accredited to the journey that God took us on and how he had to strip us of everything in order to show us what being a great steward looked like with all of these things. And that's not just financially, that's even emotionally, mentally, how to be a great steward over your mental. But that's by connecting and plugging into God for real.
Yes.
And being able to listen and get your guidance and your direction and your clarity from what he's telling you and not from what the world is.
Now you know that financial demon out there. He really knows how to get with you. I don't care if you got 50 cents in your pocket.
Come on now.
That voice be saying, buy me. And you be like, okay.
And you gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I had a temptation the other day. I had to resist it. It was like an 18-wheeler truck. It drove out
For my grandson.
It drove. No, this for me. It drove out across the floor, and then it stood up and started walking and transformed into one of the transformers.
Really?
And start talking and looked around, and then it drew his little gun out. I said, and it was like, buy me. I was like, okay. And I saw my wife's face. I said, oh no.
Because he has stuff. You know what I'm saying? He likes gadgets.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem with that, but he likes tools and I thought it was for my grandson because he sees stuff my I look in the closet and say, where did this come from? But
that's a different story.
You know what, but as his spouse, I just ask him not to keep buying the same thing over and over again. But I don't have a problem. He has proven himself. He is great with money. Very good.
That's good.
That's amazing.
I want we're about to end on this fourth session, and I already see we're gonna be doing more events with you guys because this thing just keeps going. And so I want you guys to end on wisdom for the audience concerning young men and wholeness. Just give a briefness, each of you, and then I'll give the hotline, and Mr. Perry, you next.
Yes, dear.
Okay. Well, I would say this for all the young men out there that are searching, that are looking. Remember that there's a difference between payment and fulfillment, and that's something that we've mentioned before in parts of the session. Is remember that your fulfillment is going to serve you. Remember that the seeds that are given to you, one of our great reverends at our church, he says it all the time, don't eat the seed, plant the seed. So when you are provided opportunities, make sure that you are allowing those opportunities to be given to others as well. Serve others, serve your way to where you are desiring to be. And remember that it doesn't always start with your title. It doesn't always start with what you're looking to get paid. Really think about what fulfills you. Get connected to other men that are going in the direction that you want to go in. And there's a difference between success and significance. So don't think that the world version of success is what you have to walk into. And I always say, don't follow blueprints. Understand God called you to a U-print, which is designed for you. It's just like your fingerprint. Nobody can replicate who you are, what you do, your experiences. You have a special uniqueness in your life. You are called to do something that nobody else in this world has. So remember that you have a piece to the puzzle that's needed in every area. That will serve you in your personal life, your professional life, your spiritual life. There's a calling, there's a ministry over your life, but you need to get connected. You need to get committed, and you need to gain community. So make sure you're joining a community. Make sure you're getting around other people that are going to allow you to be poured into. And we always talk about Proverbs 18:21 about speaking life, the power of the tongue. So make sure that you're affirming yourself, right? Having that affirmation, right? And I always break it down into a 3-step model: affirmation, confirmation, activation. So you want to make sure that you're being affirmed. And then you're going to see these confirmations as you continue to grow in your journey. And then you're going to realize that through your affirmation and confirmation, you're going to be activated in your journey. You're going to be activated in your calling, and you're going to start to see things start flowing and harvesting because of the seeds that you decided to plant.
Wow.
All right.
That's good. That's good.
Vince, you said
That's
said
good.
it, right?
He said it, and I mean, it's just honestly, but that's one thing about being in alignment. It's in the same realm, understanding that payment versus fulfillment. Because for me, being someone that felt like I lacked financially growing up, even though I never went without, I felt like I lacked financially, and so that's the thing that I went after, which is why I chased business and I started doing these different things, which is great, it's cool, but I focused so much on the finances that I ignored the purpose piece. I ignored what it is that I actually wanted to do, like since a child. And so my only advice to the young men, and not only them, but also the men, their fathers, their uncles, their granddads, like all the men that's listening, is going to be to really sit down and figure out who are you without any expectations from anybody else. Figure out what do you actually love, what is your purpose, what do you feel called to do, and shape and craft your life around that. People forget that God gives us the ability, as long as it's in alignment, to be able to craft and shape our lives according to how we want our lives to be. So I would say really, really just sit down and listen, and really figure out what is your purpose, what do you feel called to do, what do you find joy in. Like that thing when you were a child, you had that wild ambition that people called you crazy for. Go back to that and figure out how do you now shape and craft your life around that. And when I say like God gives us the ability to craft, it's by praying to him and asking him, can he give us the proper steps and guidance and clarity to be able to shape our lives around this thing that we feel like we're called to do. And so it'll be just finding your passion, asking God to help you shape your life around that so that you can operate and show up as the best version that you can possibly be, not for yourself, but for the people that's dependent on you.
Wow.
Amen. Wow.
Can I say one thing just to add on to what he just said? This is for young men and just men in general. You are enough. You are enough. And I just wanted to say that because I feel like somebody might be listening to this and they might not feel qualified. They might not feel like they got the degrees. They might not feel like they're smart enough. You are enough.
Yes.
You are overqualified.
Yes.
God has literally said that we will do greater in his time, in his name, in his works. So I just want to remind men in general that you are enough.
And to start talking. Find somebody that you trust and talk.
Yes. Amen. Wow.
Outside of the barbershop.
Outside of the barbershop.
That's right.
Wow, this has been just, I already know. Fire. Thank you guys so much. We're ending on the mental health hotlines, the 988 hotline that we have not we, but the community has to text home to 741-741. You have the NAMI, NAMI. You can call 211 for general community resources as well. That is 24/7. Mr. Perry.
As you go through everyday life and you come to important decisions, you must answer the inner you, because the inner you is going to make the greater life for you, because the inner you often dictates often steers you in the right direction. Don't go by your emotions. That's the first thing I had to get rid of when I make a decision. But go by the wisdom that's been poured into you by others, whether it be your mother, your father, your grandmother, grandfather, or someone that you can talk to. Find someone that you trust that will help steer you in the right direction, because the decisions that you make will be a lasting one. This has been Young People Nation. Remember, there is always hope.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the #1 prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth on to what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.